This is definitely not what I was expecting when I came back here. This is quite unusual. What's your idea here?
They wanted a place for their younger kids to just kind of come, chill, hang out, and play. So I got to meet the family before they did anything in the backyard. And so they let me design the whole space.
You not just want to go right down in here like this. Look at the moss. It's just so natural. It literally looks like somebody picked this up out of the middle of a woods and deposited it. Look at this backyard. Unbelievable. It is a beautiful day in Naperville, Illinois. A sweet house. I'm Greg Wittstock, the Pond Guy. This is my channel, Greg Wittstock, the Pond Guy, and I'm here with Brian Helfrich.
Hey.
My longest teammate on the construction side of the business. I have never been to this project. Why should I be excited about it?
Come on, I'll show you.
Okay, here we go. Well, I'm seeing some of rock for a dry stream bed here.
Yeah, the landscaper put in this dry stream bed as more of a drainage option. They get a lot of water runoff here.
Right.
And this is typically what you see.
Yeah.
Wait till you see the dry stream bed we put off the backside of our feature.
Oh, okay, cool.
The one thing I always tell people when we put in a dry stream bed, your biggest regret is going to be that it's not running. And you'll see what I mean here in a second. So this is actually their dry stream bed.
Oh, really?
So this whole property was designed for runoff.
Wow.
So we have an enormously long pondless waterfall stream, and this is just to handle the runoff from all the downspouts. I've got every gutter coming into it. They've got their sump pump coming into it, and so you always see this kind of marshy area down in here.
Yeah.
And what's interesting, the last time I met with him, guess what he said?
He wants to make it a stream.
He wants to make it running.
Course,
So we
yes.
gave him an estimate to turn this into a running stream.
Not bad at all. It's the little touches. It's having a square patio pond filled with flowers, beautiful stone bridge coming in here, and then look at this backyard. Unbelievable. Everything is so manicured, so beautiful.
So what's so nice is I got to meet the family before they did anything in the backyard. So the construction of the house hadn't even finished. And so they let me design the whole space. So this is actually the in-laws patio. This is her kitchen. This is her family room. And then we designed her own little intimate sitting area, which is separate from the family's patio.
Hey, that's one way to deal with your mother-in-law.
And just like every project, and you heard me say it over and over again, the view from inside is king.
Yes.
So we designed that waterfall to be visible
Of course.
from her kitchen window,
Of
and then
course.
the other waterfall to be visible from the rest of the family's kitchen window.
Okay, I've already figured out my favorite thing. It literally spreads through the entire backyard. I mean, this has got to be almost 100 feet long.
It is.
From, rock to rock. How would you not want to just live here? I love that you made this a sunken area.
Yep.
Because it just invites you. You know, this actually reminds me a lot of your house.
That was part of the inspiration. So they had come to mind. They have two small children, and they wanted a place for their children to kind of hang out. So notice as we walk through this, a lot of bigger flat rocks, so the kids can really maneuver around here a lot easier. We've got the stone steps that allow them to come in, play with this waterfall over here.
Oh. You not just want to go right down in here like this. And look at this. Look at the moss growing. It's just so natural. It literally looks like somebody picked this up out of the middle of a woods and deposited it in high population Naperville, Illinois.
And what's fun is I see the kids are playing with it. Like that rock, we did not put there.
Yeah.
So they're playing around with getting the waterfalls to do different things. And look at this waterfall, right? Stay right there.
Yep.
Look to your right.
Look at this, little ball valve having a supplemental waterfall. It's pretty cool, love it.
This is weathered limestone that we're dealing with, and weathered limestone is really craggy, and every now and then you get a natural hole that formed in the rocks all by itself. And so we wanted to take advantage of that natural hole. So we just have a pipe that comes around the backside of this rock right here, and it's just a what we call a gravity feed. So there's a pipe that comes up over here, and by gravity, water comes through that pipe and then just shoots out through that hole. And then what's fun is the kids can play with it however they choose. And then this is really technical, but let me show you how we control the amount of water that comes in and out of there. I take this log. I don't know if you can see the pipe right there. Can you see it? I can put it just kind of over it to help block the flow a little bit, regulating how much water comes in or out of that area.
Brian, I love, of course, the fire pit, fire and water.
Right?
You know,
And that's what you call a fire pit.
that's pretty big.
Look at the size of that thing.
That's pretty big. I mean, this waterfall is just spectacular back
And
here.
just look at how the stream really connects
Oh my.
both living places, right?
I just love the moss on the rocks. It literally looks like it just got picked up and placed back here out of the middle of the mountains. You've got an upper pool up here. I heard you saying that they didn't think they want fish, but of course, every time you put one in, they put fish in, right?
Well, for me aesthetically, like I never want to see a stream have the same water depth all the way through it, because you would never see that in nature. So the idea of having some water really, really slow down makes a lot of sense. And they were very adamant on not wanting to put fish in this.
Here's one of my philosophies, and don't take offense by this. Do not give the customer what they ask for. Give them what they want. Is this the first water feature they've owned? Or they had one before?
Yeah.
So they don't know. This has to also say Aquascape Pond. It's not just going to say the Joneses Pond or water feature. It's going to say Aquascape. And we want to do what we know they're going to enjoy. And obviously, this is what we do for a living. So when customers kind of give us free reign like this, they really said just do it. I mean, it turns out spectacular. I mean, I love that cantilevered rock over there, and then how the water rushes underneath it. And I don't know if they put that log there, the kids did or you did, but it creates current in the stream.
So the water actually disappears underneath that rock and then comes back, and then we gave them the log so the kids can play around with it.
And it's
right?
a perfect spot
and so
for
they
it.
like to dam stuff up.
And that's what kids should be doing. They should be playing with the little fountains that you put in here. We need things that will draw kids outside and deposit them in nature, breathing fresh air.
So they have an incredible trampoline and swing set back here, and kids still use that, and I love that that pulls kids outside. But what do you think they use more, this or that?
We've got a swimming pool in our backyard and a pond, and the kids are in the pond all the time. They warm up in the swimming pool because it's heated, and they play in the pond. This is just spectacular. I love it. You got a biofalls buried in here, which is good because we have a deep area of the stream that they actually put fish in, so that was good to use the biofalls.
Well, we wanted to use the biofalls. A lot of times we use the waterfall spillway when we're doing pondless waterfalls. And the main reason I didn't want to use a spillway on this project was because we were building this whole berm up, and no matter how much I compact that soil, the soil is going to settle a little bit. If I use the biofalls won't settle because it's a solid plastic box, right? And even if the berm settles on the outside, I know that my water level is going to be good on this.
And is this kind of a cedar? What is this?
These are called weeping Alaskan cedars.
Yes.
To me, they're just as interesting as the waterfall. And when these things are lit up at night, the different shadows and stuff you get off of them are really cool.
But I think this is important because if you didn't have these here, your eyes would go past this. This is one of your design techniques, is to put a vertical element directly behind and alongside the waterfall.
Yeah, I mean, believe it or not, you're actually the one that always taught me that.
This is how old you're getting. I forgot more than I know, yes.
This is not a very large waterfall. If I look at the height of that waterfall, Greg, off of the viewing area here, we're talking about a little less than knee high. And what'll happen, that waterfall is not gonna feel big if you saw the vast space behind it. It'll feel like a 5-gallon bucket in a football field. And so when you have a vertical backdrop like this, it creates more of an intimate space. And by next to this outdoor kitchen and everything, that was really important. And more important, the view from inside. I didn't want their eyes to carry to the swing set.
But here's a classic example of somebody said, I want a 5-foot high waterfall in a flat backyard. This is a flat backyard with 2-foot high waterfall, and it's only a foot above the patio here. Don't give a customer what they ask for, give them what they want. A natural looking waterfall, not a volcano spewing lava.
And so another thing you heard me say, like I really wanted that water to spread out. Giving the water an opportunity to split will give you a lot more width in your waterfall without needing necessarily a bigger pump. So having that rock sit right in the middle there gives me a little water off to the right, gives me some more water off to the left, and then just using the natural contours of the rock to create other waterfalls. Look at how great this little waterfall is. This rock had a natural high spot, and then here's the natural low spot, frame rock there. So this whole waterfall was built just out of 2 rocks, and you get that neat little split there.
So this is definitely not what I was expecting when I came back here. This is quite unusual. What's your idea here?
Well, so the inspiration behind all this was really from the homeowners, right? They wanted a place for their younger kids to just kind of come, chill, hang out, and play. And so they've got this bowl where they can, put cups underneath, add water. They've got these jets. Like, these things are flexible. So not only can you shoot people, but you can create different things. We use them all the time inside pond to help circulate dead areas, but they work great for kids just to kind of play around with, and they hold their shape.
And here's one of the things. I love this. I go, look how cool this is. You got a stump with water coming out of it. This is why we don't do drawings. Was this a part of the plan?
No, this was actually found back on the corner of the property. So it had this hollowed out area already in it. We just ran a pipe up to it. Again, there's a natural high side, and so you get that little waterfall.
So cool.
And so what's interesting, Greg, is people always say, how long will something like this last?
Oh my gosh,
and
forever.
a piece of wood that is completely submerged like this will last forever. The oxygen doesn't get a chance or the opportunity to actually help it break down. Now look at this log behind you. This was a log that was put in and at one point was solid, and in 3 years has turned to dust.
But not that one with the water.
Not that one.
Talk about this, because this is one of your things. It's the last 10%.
So the little details, right? Like these logs were not designed into the project at all. And so we ran, like that stump was back there. But the idea of adding some wood here and there is those little touches that we don't even talk about with the customer.
Yes.
And instantly naturalizes this whole thing. And so we actually went and found these over at the property across the street, and they couldn't believe that we were spending the time to go harvest wood.
Because we care. Because a pond builder, this is art. This is our art. You're not going to tell an artist not to use something. This is what we enjoy doing. We enjoy going out and adding that little touches. And we love it when customers like this say, just go for it. What we don't like is when customers say, do us a drawing and then tell us where to put the rocks, because this is art, and like this is one of your theories about being able to look 5 steps ahead like playing chess.
Yeah, so what we're talking about there is like when we're placing a stone, I'm not thinking just of the placement of that rock and how it sits in its own element there or in its initial space, but how is the next rock going to sit next to it? And not just that rock, but 3 rocks ahead. Like chess, right? It's not just about that move, it's the 5th move after that.
We never ever have problems when we're done with the water features. It's always during construction when the customers flip out like, where are all these rocks going to go? We got it. This is what we do for a job.
There's 70 tons of stone sitting here.
70 tons.
Right? From that end all the way down through the dry stream. And so of course it's really overwhelming when all that stone shows up to a customer.
But to us it's another day at the office.
We know what the purpose of it is. And like these big rocks here, and the big rocks carved into the steps, and the rocks carved into the fire pit. The idea of all that is to make it look like it's been here forever.
And it does.
And then everything else was designed around it.
And here's the nice thing. This is a 3-year-old water feature. I can't wait to get back here 5 years from now. This is going to be that much more spectacular, which you can't get when you invest in a kitchen or a bathroom remodel. It degrades with age. When you put a water feature in, it improves with age.
Awesome.
I mean, I love how there's a dry part of this stone and then this rapidy, and then using all of the natural curves in the rock. These are 2 stones that are put together. This looks like one.
And then this is very similar to what we did down there. We wanted to get a little tributary, and the idea was more, I wanted to spread this water out as far as I could on this main waterfall, rather than it just be this little narrow area. So the main pipe that feeds that biofalls up there, we just teed off of it and got this little tributary here.
And it's not just the aesthetics, it's the sound. Listen to that sound. It's literally perfect. Perfect. I love it. I just think my job is the greatest. I get to go around. How long have we built this?
3 years.
3 years. I've never been here. I saw pictures on Facebook of it, but now for the first time I get to experience this. I hope you guys like this. Traveling around, seeing these beautiful water features, seeing how people live the aquascape lifestyle. If you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, share these things so that more people could learn what living the aquascape lifestyle is all about. So proud of you, man. Fantastic work. I love my job.
I love his job too.